right, so the game we've been waiting for here. Semifinals in the Champions Division between Los Angeles Ironmen and Houston Heat. So the winner of this game will advance to play the final game. This is the 2014 PSP Chicago Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez and Chris Lasoya. Both these teams have played very strong to get to this point. Both the snake players for these teams have just been on fire, and we all know how important this side of the thing is, but at the same time, these guys have been able to aggressively shoot players off the break and move up on D side as well. So I can't even call this one. It's too close. It's too tough to tell. You'd have to give the experience maybe a little bit, though, honestly, to Houston Heat. Now, they haven't had the best year so far, but the players that make up that team, they have a little bit more experience than when you go depth of roster all the way down man for man, because the San Jose Royalty players coming out of the Challengers division. But Toke Hamill and Daniel Ibarra are a great second line on the snake side right now for the Ironmen. But that first line of Alex Goldman and Marcelo Margot have just been destroying people out here on this field.
Hey, well, this is the final round of the race right here. Yeah, well, not the final round, but Sunday, the Sunday round. This is where you run your horses. I'm pretty sure that they're going to send Alex Golden and Marcelo Margot out there as much as they can possibly go. Alex Rodriguez has been having a good tournament for them. Brandon Cornell's been solid up on that Dorito side, but Houston Heat behind John Woodley and Greg Sewers over there on that Dorito side have just been pounding people in and really set the tone on the Dorito side, how it to be played at this event. Ryan Moorhead and Chad George have been coming down this snake side game after game after game. Let's see if they can continue that. So a couple awesome teams right here getting ready to square off with just almost a minute before this game is about to start. So
I think the one good thing that Houston Heat's been doing better than the Ironmen is shooting on the break. I think they're getting those couple key Gs, but on the flip side, Alex Goldman is still getting in there somehow. So I'm anxious to see what happens off the break, as of any game, of course.
Well, before we start this matchup, let's check in with Lauren Kelly. She is down on the sidelines. Lauren, what do you got for us?
With Chad Boucher in the Heat pit, they are getting ready to battle Ironmen. Ironmen has been playing really strong this weekend, so have you guys. You've been watching them. You know how productive Mouse is being, Marcelo's being. Do you have specific players or sides you want to key up on off your break?
Yeah, Mouse is playing real strong down the snake, and, you just got to make sure that, you're getting the right kills off the right side. So, we're going to obviously look for him to make a big move, so we're going to try to stop that as well.
All right, we'll see if they can stop Mouse and Marcelo from getting any kills off the break. We're starting in 20 seconds. Thanks.
Looking at the Ironmen, ready to roll right now. Here's Alex Golden and Marcelo Margot, the 1-2 punch on the snake side for the starting lineup of the Ironmen. But do not forget about young Brandon Cornell and Alex Rodriguez on that D side, and Big Mike Paxton. He's got a great off the break shot. He's going to try to take out either Chad George or Ryan Moorhead. So first to strike, it looks like both teams. Oh no. So coming off early is Mike Paxton, and here comes Alex Goldman. Alex Goldman first to go into the snake. Nope, that move is mirrored by Chad George. So both these teams have a player in the snake, and here comes Ryan Moorhead. Better field position right now for Houston Heat. But I think that was
Marcelo Margot shooting over top of that bunker, getting Chad George around the corner.
yeah, good job right there by Marcelo to even the bodies up on this side. Could have been danger for Alex Goldman. But here goes Tim Montresor filling from the back center across to the snake side corner. Alex Goldman and Marcelo Margot looking at Ryan Moorhead and Tim Montresor. Greg Sewers getting shot for Houston Heat off that Dorito side, leaving just Woodley over there. Alex Goldman going to work. He just looks like he might have just bounced Woodley in the arm. So Woodley now going to be focused across on the snake side. That should give Alex Rodriguez and Brandon Cornell an opportunity to make a push down that Dorito side. See if they recognize where the bodies are. Tim Montresor over here in the snake. He is shooting a stream all the way across the field through that zone to keep Alex Rodriguez from advancing. Moorhead and Goldman locked up, posted up down the wire on each other right now. And looks like Moorhead was able to squeeze out just a little bit farther and get a shot in on Goldman. So that's gonna make Marcelo Margot bump out. And as as Montresor's gun shifts down the wire, the Ironmen start making a push down the Dorito side.
And now Moorhead, he moves past the 50. It's just looking at Marcelo Margot in front of him. Marcelo Margot knows who's in front of him, and he knows when he's capable.
Look at the shot across the field by Ryan Moorhead.
And here comes the counter punch from Marcelo Margot, and I think he was able to live, was he? I think he was, so not able to get the shot cross field was John Woodley. So 2 players left alive, Tim Montresor and John Woodley. Marcelo Margot, though, in the snake right now for the Ironman.
3 bodies alive for the Ironman. Alex Rodriguez is in the 50 Dorito. When he made that move, Montresor had to shift his gun, and that's what allowed Marcelo Margot to make that move on Ryan Moorhead. Brandon Cornell now coming out of that Dorito side corner, getting up into Dorito 2 behind A-Rod. 3-on-2 advantage right now. Moorhead and Montresor and Woodley still over there in Dorito 1. Here comes Alex Rodriguez, and Alex Rodriguez able to get Woodley clean. Now a 3-on-1 situation. Can the Ironmen close this point out, or can Montresor have some early heroics? No, he is unable to. So Ironmen going up, getting the first blood, 1-0 over Houston Heat.
Todd, what an awesome point, though, from both teams. You saw the attack coming from each squad on this snake side and up on that D side of the field, but the Ironmen just a little bit better. They were able to win the battle of attrition over here on the snake side, and then they had Alex Rodriguez and young Brandon Cornell getting it done for them, staying alive and getting kills on that Dorito side of the field. So look at this. Look at this perfectly timed launch by Marcelo Margot and perfect technique to get back in there. And I think did Tim just flat out miss him?
No, he wasn't looking. His gun was down.
Yeah,
okay, but
Tim
he's looking.
Tim switched, and you can see him backing out just to take a look down the wire as Marcelo Margot is bunking out Ryan Moorhead right there in the snake. But Heat definitely had the advantage there when they had Chad George up in that snake, got clipped out from across the field. So early 1-0 lead by the LA Ironmen. We'll be right back after this.
Ironman up 1-0 right now over Houston Heat. 17:25 on the clock to play this next point. So the Ironmen actually do send in a full second line. Daniel Ibarra, Toe Camel, Shane Pistana, and Chris Catt. But Todd, those guys also played pretty well this event. So I could see why the Ironmen have confidence in that full second line.
No, they definitely did. Shane Pistana is now playing on this line. He was playing on the other line before. And let's see, looks like the Ironmen might have lost one. I think they lose Ibarra on the break and Toe Campbell coming out here to the snake side. So Houston Heat going to have full control of the snake with 3 bodies over here, with Monville, George, and Moorhead now crossing onto the Ironmen side of the field. Shouldn't be long before Moorhead gets a couple kills. Marcelo Margot recognizes where Moorhead is right now, but Chris Catt and Shane Pestana both have not. Shane Pestana able to bump in. Here comes Ryan Moorhead all the way to the end. Blast Marcelo Margot. Yeah. That's going to open the door for Chad George.
And Chad George trying to clean it up over here. Again, just got to have one guy left alive over here. Marcelo Margot guy playing both lines for the Ironmen, but the second line not able to get it done, losing too many bodies, and they allow Moorhead to get all the way down, take out Margot, and that leaves just Chad George, who is going to make really quick work here of Shane Pestana and Chris Catt, the last 2 players left alive. And I think it's just Shane in the back corner bunker. No, yeah, so they shot Shane out. So Shane was in the Dorito, and Chris Catt had moved all the way up on the D side. But again, that's the importance of the snake.
Yeah, and just having those 3 bodies over here. Sam Monville doing a good job for Houston Heat. Shooting out Toke Hamill on the break. And then coming in, supporting his snake players, and gonna go grab that flag and hang it. Number 19, Sam Monville for Houston Heat. So Houston Heat evening it up after dropping the first one to the Ironmen.
Yeah, and Sam Monville, Greg Sewers are the players left alive, like you're saying, and that's what Heat needed to play in the second line, make the statement that, hey, you know, who's deeper right now? You know, that's the question that's going to be answered. And Houston Heat proving, obviously, with Moorhead. You saw the way that Moorhead played that snake. Very, very aggressive, as always, and coming off of that partially torn Achilles tendon that he had to take 2 months off of. But still, Moorhead able to get it done, take out Marcel Margot, who traded out with him. This game brought to you by Die Precision, who are the sponsors of the legendary Los Angeles Ironmen and the reason that that team is still around. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this. Stick around.
I first picked up a paintball gun when I was 9. I used to stand around at the field and stare at the Ironman players, hoping for a shot. I earned my way onto the team when I was 15. We won 2 world titles. When I blew my knee out for the second time, the doctor told me I'd never play again, but I refused to let go of my dream. I'm an Ironman, and paintball is my life.
Getting right back into the action here. Alex Goldman able to make the snake, but bodies dropping for the Los Angeles Ironmen. One for both team, actually. And here comes Moorhead, slipping and sliding, crawling, trying to get into snake 1. Looks like he got in there clean. Better field position, though, for Alex Goldman, and he is trying to stay alive because it looks like Chad George is rolling his gun down that sideline. So Alex Goldman, forced look inside, now gets back on the sidelines and crawls around, even though Chad George, it's tough, man. You can't get a direct line on that particular notch of the snake. So what that does is it allows those snake players to get to that 50-yard line and match up. So this is the battle that we saw and talked about being set for this game. Alex Goldman, Ryan Moorhead, the 2 players on these teams playing the snake the best. Ryan Moorhead now zoned up down the wire.
He's just waiting for that little shot. The same thing that Alex Goldman did to him, or vice versa. Last time, Moorhead got the advantage on Alex Goldman, taking him out. Let's see who gets the battle of attrition on this one.
Well, both teams lost 1 body, but still have 2 on each side of the field. Moorhead going to be the first one to strike. He's going to trade out with Alex Goldman. That's going to allow Chad George to come right into snake 3, see if he can catch anybody sleeping. He does. He shoots out Shane Pestana from the Dorito, one of the Ironmen, but the Ironmen able to fill down to the snake side corner. Houston Heat. Houston Heat making that push up the Dorito side.
And Marcelo Magat knows the shots. He knows what's going on right now. He's playing very conservative, not getting crazy, but he doesn't want to make a mistake because there's one player behind. You see the top side of your screen, 50 Dorito for the LA Ironmen. 50 Dorito for the Houston Heat. LA Ironmen crossed up with the only 2 players they have alive.
Chad George and the snake right now on your screen. And this is where the battle's been going down all tournament long. These 2 teams tied at 1 apiece. 14:09 left to go. We talked about Ryan Moorhead and how well he'd been able to play on this snake side. But we can't forget to mention a guy like Chad George, who Todd has also been getting in there and doing work for Houston Heat. And now, again, you can't just have one guy go over there. You got to get multiple weapons on that side.
Yeah, Chad Boucher up in that 50 Dorito with Greg Sewers. As you're watching the snake battle right there, Marcelo Margot dipped out to the snake side corner. The 2 bodies left alive for the Ironman are up there in that Dorito corner, and Marcelo Margot getting shot out of the snake corner. He's going to come walking off. Here comes Chad George attacking. Here comes Greg Sewers through the middle. He's going to run down Daniel Ibarra in that Dorito corner, and the last body for the Ironman is going to walk off as Greg Sewers going to head back to the middle of the field and grab the flag for Houston Heat.
Yeah, man, the last player left alive for the Ironman definitely wore a bunch as they both Chad George and Greg Sewers combined look like a yellow supernova explosion coming off of his head. So let's check out this replay here as Houston Heat going to put up 1. And this is that battle that we saw. Alex Goldman and Ryan Moorhead. Ryan Moorhead, the first to attack, clears Alex Goldman out, but you saw the aggressive secondary push. Look at this. Chad George is going to fly. Look at right off the chaos. Chad George comes right into the snake, and that is what's winning games out here, and that's what's going to win tournaments, is that you got to be able to, if you see it, obviously you don't want to just make that move without making sure it's there, but you have to have that in your mind at all times.
And with that said, he comes in there right away, looks across the field, catch Shane Pestana sleeping, as Todd called it. Bam, right away. That's 2 straight-up bodies, and then they're left with the 2 corners just to defend themselves.
Well, let's get a listen in real quick here to the Ironman pits as these guys get ready to roll for this next one.
Here, we got one, but it's got a lid. Don't worry, 1 minute. We got a lid.
So those... it's such an interesting story with the Los Angeles Ironmen and the way they've combined the young talent from San Jose Royalty, who did pretty well in the Challengers division. They came real close to actually bumping up to the Champions division at one point. They did lose to Moscow Legion, but kind of shot themselves in the foot that game last year. But in order to solidify the Ironman's line and try to make another run at a title, Shane Pestana brought his young talents from NorCal onto the already stellar lineup that they have with Alex Rodriguez, Paxson, Goldman, Marcelo Margot. And I'll tell you what, the Ironmen proving that they are going to be a top 10 team again. a top team again by making the semifinals, but they got to take down Houston Heat, who also had to go to the well, reform their team in the offseason. And so it's just impressive that these guys have been able to fight through the adversity that's been in front of them to make it to the stage that we're watching them play on right now.
On your screen, split screen breakout, 2-1 in favor of the Houston Heat. Houston Heat on your left, Ironmen on your right. And in the breakout, Alex Goldman taking one in the face. Also, Shane Pastana taking one, so down 2 players in the break. Todd is the Ironman.
Yeah, the Ironmen losing Goldman and Pastana. Just one body over here. Toe Campbell tries to sneak out to the corner, slips and falls, but is able to get in alive. The corner, Dorito side corner, and the Dorito 1 for the Ironmen. Looks like Alex Rodriguez over there still with Chris Catt. But here's that epic snake battle just being dominated right now by Houston Heat, as Chad George is gonna crawl in behind Ryan Moorhead. Ryan Moorhead, you can see him, he's all the way down to the last outside knuckle of the Ironman snake. If he can just deal with Toe Camel right in front of him, as Toe Camel tries to come up on top over the inside.
Ryan Moorhead living on the edge of death here, past the 50-yard line onto the Ironman side of the field. He just head checked away from 2 really close snapshots from Toe Camel. Almost was able to take out Ryan Moorhead, but Ryan Moorhead just a little too quick.
There's Greg Sewers shooting down the wire, working with John Woodley, who's in the Dorito 1. Playing smart over there. They got 2 bodies in front of them. The snake side of Houston Heat has the ball right now with a 3-on-1 advantage. Chad George, Ryan Moorhead down here in the corner.
You know, slowing it up just a little bit, but you don't have to do much if you're up 1 point. I mean, and you're in great field position.
Here goes,
there
goes Chad Boucher up the middle on the Dorito side. I'm sorry, I said John Woodley. That's Chad Boucher coming up into the tall tower.
Chris Catt taking the walk.
There you see at the very top of your screen, that's Chad Boucher in the tower right next to the 50 Dorito. Toe Camel trying to battle Monville down the wire. Moorhead and George.
Yeah, Moorhead pushing into that bunker. I think Moorhead just might have caught one. No, Moorhead actually got the shot cross field. I thought Alex Rodriguez might have dipped one in on him, but he actually shot the bunker. Chad George dies from Toe Camel, but Toe Camel, the last player left alive. So what an amazing shot cross field on Alex Rodriguez from Ryan Moorhead and Chad George. Those 2 guys are just dominating over here on the snake side and really setting the pace for this matchup. And so right now the Ironmen, they've got to get Marcelo Margot and Alex Goldman down this snake and start matching Moorhead and Chad George if they want to have a chance to get into this final matchup. 11 minutes remain. The score is now 3-1. We're going to be right back after this.
He is good enough to play. I'm an aggressive person, still to this day. Anytime I play, even if I play Call of Duty, I'm running at you nonstop.
Do you have an issue with them? No, I'm just...
You can speak up, Vito. The camera's facing towards me. This is freaking huge to me, and I want to see what you're gonna do, okay? Because 9 out of 10 people, they give you a little hint, when they go bunker somebody, the idiot runs right into their freaking barrel, okay? When their barrel's shooting, pounding one way, they run right into it to bunker him, guaranteeing their death. Well, figure it out. Don't do that.
Is there anybody here from Sweden? Where's the Swedish guy? There he is.
There's Houston Heat's LJ Woodley, John Woodley, getting ready to roll. So yeah, we just saw that teaser for the roster. So there is, I hate to say it for you guys, but there's more weather approaching. We'll see how it develops. But as long as there is a lunch break, I know it's beautiful out right now, but you know, when you can, this is the Midwest and you never know what's going to happen. So I got some information from our weather guys that are keeping an eye on things. And so we will see the roster at the lunch break as long as we have a lunch break. So now on the breakout here, Houston Heat and the Ironmen. Houston Heat on the left, Ironmen on the right. Alex Goldman and Marcel Margot back on the field on your screen right now. And they are going to try to get in the snake. Goldman shooting towards the inside. He must see somebody's pack or something, because he is really rolling his lane that way instead of trying to push into the snake. And that lets Moorhead get into the snake. So Moorhead in his ceaseless attack over here on the snake side of the field.
Oh, I know what he's doing. He was rapping on Tim Montrester, actually. That's what he was doing. He's rapping on the inside and Tim Montrester trying to get himself in.
So, but then Alex Goldman able to get in to the snake, and he's just watching that lane right now. You can see he knows that Moorhead's been playing aggressive and trying to make sure he has his gun up in case he has to trade out.
Alex Rodriguez getting shot off that Dorito side for the Ironmen, so just one body over there now for the Ironmen on that side of the field. It's Brandon Cornell, Marcelo Margot, and Alex Goldman going to have to get going for the Ironmen if they're going to stay in this match right now, as Houston Heat has dominated. They're on a 3-point run right now, and with 5 bodies alive still, definitely in control of this point.
You know,
Greg Sewers and John Woodley over there on the Dorito side. Here comes Moorhead down the snake again. Is Moorhead going to go get him? Yes, he is. Very content to trade out with Goldman all day long to get Goldman off the field.
And Todd, you could see that Alex was shaking his head knowing that he's getting beaten to the punch over here by Ryan Moorhead.
And in the process, you had Marcelo Margot try to make it to the corner. He had a loader problem, tried to make it to the corner, overslid, and got shot. That's what forced Ryan Moorhead to come down the wire and bunker out Alex Goldman.
So a little bit too much Ryan Moorhead in the snake right now for the Ironmen.
Ironmen aren't shooting anybody off the break.
Good point, Todd.
You know, they lost 4 bodies, or they're down 4 points. They just gave up 4 points in a row. But that's largely due to the fact that they have not shot anybody off the side. You're constantly seeing 3 bodies over here for Houston Heat on this side. They're getting both guys to the snake side can. They're getting their 3rd body wherever they want, to the temple, straight to the snake, and then their 3rd body is able to just fill out to the corner, and then he can go in and fill in the snake whenever he wants. So Houston Heat really beating the Ironmen to the punch all around right now, especially on the snake side.
So let's check out the event PBA overall rating leaders. Archie Montemayor team actually got relegated down to the Challengers Division in a shocker. But, you know, it's tough out here. So Archie still, though, able to maintain his Top Gun title leading performances that he's had this year. So he is the Top Gun leader. Also, Ryan Greenspan, Marcelo Margot, Greg Sewers, and Jason Edwards. That's just for this specific event, putting up numbers and getting it done.
Even though Marcelo Margot and Greg Sewers is still in the running here, it's going to be hard to catch up with Archie Montemayor, even though he's not even playing still. I mean, just for this leaning, 56 kills is unheard of. So he had quite the stellar tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. We have a timeout in the field right now. So one of the teams taking a breather. Timeout Los Angeles Ironmen, trying to regroup a little bit and see what's happening.
I mean, if you're averaging 11 kills per game for your team, then you're doing some serious work out there. You know, Archie Montemayor, you know, when you're playing X Factor, you know, the one guy that you always got to make sure to account for is Archie Montemayor.
So what an awesome game so far from Houston Heat. Let's check out these on-field lineups, the rosters for these teams. Shane Pastana, Chris Catt, Brandon Cornell, Mike Paxton, Alex Rodriguez, Eric Humphreys, Alex Goldman, Marcelo Margot, and John Kolkman for the Ironmen. Houston Heat, Greg Sewers, Ryan Moorhead, Keith DeVitt, John Woodley, Sam Monville, Tim Montresor, Chad George, Thomas Taylor, Nick Sloviak. Not a lot of holes in that lineup with that level of experience of guys that they have on that team. So, you know, Randy Smith just doing a number assembling that team, but also a pretty genius move for the Ironmen to just absorb San Jose royalty. So, and also a little bit of info for you guys. Again, there is a storm cell approaching. We do not know if it's going to push north or south or if it's going to hit us like we got hit yesterday. So we're going to have a lunch break. You will see episode 1 of the roster, which is awesome. So you definitely want to stick around for that. And the story, Planet Eclipse's look behind one of their factor teams. But we don't know if we're going to be able to play the divisional games on this field. We might have to push the divisional championships to another field so we can play the champs and challengers and get those in before the storm hits. So that's still on standby. We don't know if that's going to happen. But let's check in with Lauren Kelly down in the sidelines.
Hey guys, it's getting pretty intense over here in the Ironmen pit. We are on an Ironmen timeout because Marcelo Margot came out off the field and said they needed time to collect their thoughts and figure out what was going on. Marcelo was telling the team that he could see the snake player, but his loader was down and he wasn't able to do any work. His loader's been down the past 2 points, which is really causing a lot of trouble for them. Alex Rodriguez was saying that they really need to switch when they have that opportunity, so we'll see if they can get that to work on the field and maybe get a point on the board to close this gap.
So Marcelo Margot running back-to-back points here, playing both lines, and the second line right now is out for the Los Angeles Ironmen. Todd, I don't know if that's the best call, but Alex Goldman's not getting it done either. So maybe you let Chris Cat and Hamill try to get it done.
Well, I mean,
yeah, well,
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, Doug Hamill's playing really good as well.
Yeah.
That's why it makes it tough to call, though.
But it's also tough when your best guys can't get in a rhythm, you know? If a guy's really good, you got to give him opportunities. You know, if he's only going out there, you know, if you play 10 points and he only gets to go out 5, then, you know, he has a couple good games. He only had 3 good games for you.
You know, and right now, making a good move over here. Filling out to the corner, noting Toke Hamill's in the snake. Oh, there goes Tim Montress taking the walk. Toke Hamill,
yeah,
going to work with Marcelo Margot.
So, Chris, this is what we just talked about, you know? So Marcelo Margot right backing up Toke Hamill. They let Toke Hamill spin here in the snake, and he starts to pay dividends for his team. He takes out Tim Montresor. Chad George got shot out as well, too. So just 3 bodies left alive for Houston Heat. Daniel Ibarra did get shot, so Toke Hamill took over attacking duties over here snake side. Chris Hatt is still alive, and so is Shane Pastana. So it's 4 on 3, 2 right now, actually.
Look, Toke Hamill going down the field. Jason Willie taking a walk now, too. But look at Toke Hamill, 1 player left alive on this side of the field. Looks like the LA Ironmen are going to take this game. Well, it looks like it, but.
Just 1 body, and here comes Hamill. And he's going to come down the inside.
Just puts it on him.
And get Monville out of that corner. So, good
just like we
timeout
said,
by
man.
the
Good
Ironmen.
call. Good call, guys.
Well, so Shane Pastana alive to hang that flag up. Looks like Shane Pastana took out John Woodley. And so, you know, the combined mind of the second line for Los Angeles Ironmen, as well as Marcelo Margot, is playing back and forth. And I think that's actually really smart. No one is playing that 2 spot on the snake side for the Ironmen like Marcelo Margot is.
So, I mean, the big problem in the beginning was not necessarily the personnel. It was just the fact that they were losing a lot of bodies over here. You know, but if Alex Goldman is your #1 killer, yeah, he's been going down there and he's been killing a ton of people as the first guy. But if you're not able to protect him or get somebody else in there, send Toke Hamill in first and then let Marcelo and Alex come behind them. You know, you send Ryan Moorhead up there. You still have the attack of Chad George and Sam Monville or Montresor coming down the snake side for Heat. So, I mean, they just need to get some bodies out here alive. But, I mean, when you're in this situation, your best guys are your best guys for a reason. You know, you got to get these guys out there on the field and put them to work. You know, if you're only getting an opportunity every other point, you know, it makes it kind of tough for them to get going sometimes.
It is tough, but it's just one of those age-old questions, starting 5 or 2 lines. So on the game matchup there, really closely even between these 2 teams. And, you know, and it's tough to tell how these teams are going to progress forward just because of the storyline and the back end of the teams. Okay, so like we've been talking about, you have all the youngsters now that are trying to perform for the LA Ironmen, mixing in with the vets. And do you run the starting 5? Do you run 2 lines? And then with Houston Heat, same sort of thing. You know, when I was talking to Chad Boucher earlier on, I'm like, hey, are you guys going to do starting 5 or are you going to run 2 lines because you have the depth? And he's like, to be honest, I don't even know. Every point matters, and we need to do well at this event. So I can't even answer that question for you yet.
Yep. I mean, Houston Heat again. They're coming with Chad George, Sam Monville, and Ryan Moorhead. You know, yeah, Boucher's coming back in the game right now as well with Greg Sewers. So, I mean, Houston Heat really getting it done all around. As Chad George goes all the way to the snake on the break. And once again, Houston Heat keeps their entire snake side alive. And the shooters on the break for the Ironmen just are not killing any bodies. Chad George made it in, but then he gets shot right afterwards. And here comes Moorhead. He's going to be able to fill across and now get into the snake 50 for Houston Heat. Sam Monville right behind him with his gun up, but the 2 Ironman players still stuck in that snake side can as Monville is just cutting that zone down to the snake. We'll see if Moorhead can take advantage of it. There goes Marcelo trying to break out to the corner. Does he make it alive? Yes, he does. So that's going to cue Sam Monville to fill out to the snake side corner.
Well, he comes out and blows a shot against down this wire against Moorhead. They shot Alex Goldman again on the break also.
And there goes Chad Boucher running up into the Dorito side temple and shooting Shane Pestana in the back, but then countered by Alex Rodriguez, who comes and gets Chad Boucher to trade out.
So it looks like right now 2 bodies alive for both teams, but Ryan Moorhead again, always constantly in the snake and past the 50-yard line here when things start to go down. They're just going to run Moorhead till the wheels fall off, or I would.
There's only one player left in the Ironman. It's Marcelo Margot stuck in the corner, but he's looking at 2 players in front of him, and 2 players you really don't want to look at in front of you is Ryan Moorhead and Sam Monville.
Well, let's see if you've seen Marcelo pull off stuff like this
Absolutely.
before. And look at his body language. Marcelo knows where he's at. He's going back and forth, and you have to throw a lot of different snap check or head check and gunfight looks when you're in a situation like this. You can't just stay one way. You have to be very, very active in your bunker, and also you can't spend much time loading. So,
yeah.
So now Monville needs to split the field, though. He decides to go right behind Moorhead. It would probably be smarter for Monville to start closing and out and spread the field wide. So he's going to continue to push forward. And I think he
nice
just got a shot. And I was going to say, I used to love it when guys would come right at you in a one-on-one or two-on-ones like this.
Yep. And if he's hit, it's going to be a penalty.
And so Marcelo Margot, triumphant.
Look at that.
Hey, guys, I was just going to say, that is not what you do in a 2-on-1 situation. Like I was telling Monville here, trying to give him the psychic vibe. Spread the field, kid. You can't do that. If you go right at a guy, it's the same snapshot line. The guy's already locked in his snapshot line anyway. You're playing Marcelo Margot, who's not going to get rattled no matter what. And if you're Marcelo Margot, you're begging for them to just push right at you, stay in the same line, because if he had slowed it down with the gigantic lead that they have, I mean, if Sam Monville had slowly but surely, methodically made his way onto the D side of the field, that would have been a totally different game, because there's only 5 minutes and 16 seconds left, and before they scored this, they had a bigger lead. And so that would have sucked a ton of time off. They might have forced the Ironmen to blow the horn, thus giving them the point anyway, and the Ironman would have had to do that. But no, instead he runs up the field in the same exact line, essentially, just a little bit to the inside of the snake that Moorhead was already in, and thus giving the best opportunity for Marcelo Margot possible to do what he just did, was win 2 gunfights and be the hero here to keep his team in this match. We got ourselves a 1-point game.
I'm surprised they didn't give him Ryan Moorhead a minor penalty or some kind of penalty, because he walked over and he was hit. So, I mean, I guess it's to be determined.
Well, we'll be right back after this, man. Close matchup. It's still anyone's game. And what an amazing point by Marcelo Margot. 5 minutes, 16 seconds to go. We'll see you in a second.
Good. Let's go, boys.
They say don't be perfect, be clutch. Being clutch is one of my biggest assets. You can rely on me to be clutch, and I rely on the Vanquish. My name is Damian Ryan. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
Got a packed stands here, packed house for the semifinal matchup between Houston Heat and the Los Angeles Ironmen. These teams fighting to face Impact in the finals.
And Toe Camel able to get into the snake off the break. Coming right into the third knuckle. CC getting shot on the break for the Ironmen. 4 bodies left alive. Shane Pestana also taking one in that Dorito side can. He's coming off again. Houston Heat still playing up bodies. Yaya Boucher filling out to the Dorito side corner. And Greg Sewers coming across into the mini Dorito right away.
Todd, there was a big move on the D side, though. 50-yard line taken by, I believe, Alex Rodriguez. And it looks like Chad George is going to get shot out. I think, did Toe Camel just own him in that, or did he get shot cross field?
I think he got shot in the pack, that one shot, drop shot across field.
Greg Sewers looks like he just got shot in the loader. Oh, Alex Rodriguez. I thought he almost got Greg Sewers right there. He's in the 50. They're going to go head-to-head right now.
And speaking of head-to-head, Toe Camel's going head-to-head right now with Sam Monville. So still 4 bodies left alive, and there it is. Sewers gets shot out. So Alex Rodriguez having a game for the Los Angeles Ironmen on the D side of the field. Toe Camel having one And it looks like Daniel Ibarra is backing up Toe Camel.
Yeah, Sam Monville over here on the snake side with Ryan Moorhead. Just Chad Boucher over there on the Dorito side for Houston Heat. Referee running in to check Alex Rodriguez over there in the 50 Dorito. Toe Camel and Daniel Ibarra. So,
oh no, a penalty coming on Alex Rodriguez.
I wonder what type of penalty though, because the ref didn't have his flag, so we have to see if that's a minor or a major. That's a big difference. Looks like a minor penalty, so that's good for Ironman fans out there.
God, but that just, they were in the driver's seat for that game right there, and coast to coast, go to the 50 almost. Is the LA Ironman in the 50 Dorito on that far side of the field.
And Toe Camel gonna back all the way up. See if he can give himself this opportunity, but Chad Boucher for Houston Heat stepping up big, coming down that Dorito side, shooting Toe Camel to end that point and helping Houston Heat maintain their lead here late in the game against the LA Ironmen.
Todd, he also shot Chris Cat too.
Man, Chad Boucher coming up big.
It's funny because Chad at the beginning of the season kind of was like, I'm overplaying. I'm just going to manage Houston Heat.
Exactly.
I'm just going to manage the guys, and I'm over it. And then he just couldn't stay away.
It's hard to stay away.
And he's playing better than ever.
Glad he didn't,
Yeah, me too.
Playing better than ever.
That guy has a lot of heart. He's a super cool kid. I've always liked hanging out with him.
Well, man, he grinded for years on Aftershock. Was always there, putting in all the work, and just never got the playing time that he felt he deserved, and then playing for Houston Heat for the past couple years, they ran a lot of five guy lines, but, putting in work here for Houston Heat, 5-3. We'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. Man, buy some of that stuff. It's amazing. Thanks for sticking around with us. So.
Truck just icing us down up here. So anyway, 3 minutes and 15 seconds remain here. And it's still, honestly, the way back and forth that this team has gone, or these two teams have gone, yes, Houston Heat, they're 2 points away from victory. They're 2 points up on the Ironmen. But with, you never know. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. The Ironmen could very well put 2 points on the board, tied up, take it to overtime. And the way the overtimes work on Sunday is it's a 3-minute overtime period. If no winner can be determined after that 3-minute period, then we go to a one-on-one shootout. I don't know. It's going to be tough. The Ironmen sending out Brandon Cornell, Alex Goldman, Shane Pistana, Toe Camel, 10 confirmed kills right now for Marcelo Margot, and he is definitely the MVP of the Ironmen thus far here in this matchup. Ryan Moorhead and Greg Sewers, they are the MVPs right now for Houston Heat. See how this thing shakes out.
John Woodley taking the walk on the break on the side of your screen. You see him walking out. There goes Ryan Moorhead. Try and make it to the corner. Can he dig it out, Todd?
Yes, it looks like he does get out there. Alex Goldman and Toe Camel for the Ironmen over here on the snake side. And Marcelo Margot, who switches sides of the field, goes up to the Dorito side. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Brandon Cornell getting shot out of that Dorito corner. Marcelo Margot still alive. Jumps into the Dorito one. He's got Shane Pistana behind him. Alex Goldman jumping into the snake from the corner. He's going to go heads up with Chad George. Both mirrored up now. Alex Goldman seeing if he can get some shots across the field. There's Chad George posted up down the wire on Alex Goldman. Alex Goldman pops up over the top. Gets a little check in, but too much as he gets shot. And looks like Toe Camel's going to take that opportunity to dip out into the snake side corner to keep Chad George from coming all the way down.
This is a huge point right now for these guys. They've got to keep them within at least one.
Yeah, but guys, I'll tell you what. With 2-on-4 right now, Houston Heat with 2 points up, 2 minutes left. I think this game's over, man.
I would have to agree.
Because the Ironmen are now if they blow the horn, they're down 3 with less than 2 minutes to play. They only have 2 bodies left. They have to push into 4 guys. Any way you shake it out right now, any possible way you look at this game, it looks like Houston Heat's going to take the victory. I mean, we'll see. 1:44 to go. Chad George pushing forward, not even holding in his spot. Still wants those kills.
And Chad George
look at
just
that
trying to
shot
get a straight
across the
ball.
field. Well, I think one actually went straight. I mean, good job by Chad George over there. You can't see him now, but he is in there.
Well, and it was Marcelo Margot left alive over there that got shot, I think.
Yep.
So Marcelo just all over the place, but not enough, man. I mean, he left it all out here, but the rest of the team did not step up here.
They were shutting down Alex Goldman very, very well this game.
They shut down him. Shane Pistana had a lot of deaths out of his bunker. They weren't shooting as many players off the break. They were letting Moorhead get in here and do whatever he wanted to do. So, but before we see the conclusion of this match, we're going to be right back. Quick commercial break.
Welcome back. We are in this Heat versus Ironmen match. Heat is up 3 points, 6-3. It's really getting heated in the Ironmen pit. Marcelo and Mouse were actually going at it, and Mike Paxton had to get in there and tell them to calm down, that they needed to stay calm and regroup so they could try to get this point and close out that gap. Let's see what happens.
Well, that's what happens when things aren't going your way and you're buddies with each other for 10 years. So now, let's see, here comes a hardcore push. The Ironmen know what they have to do. They're down by 3. They don't have any time left, and that means aggressively push forward with complete, utter disregard for the consequences. Toe Camel, he just got blown to bits, I think.
Yeah, he did for sure, man.
Called himself out yet, and here comes...
No, he definitely got blown to pieces.
Yeah, but he's still playing, and it looks like the hammer drop by Alex Goldman.
And this is going to be a major penalty.
Major penalty on Toe Camel if he's got any hits on him that the ref can find.
True story. Oh, hey. Houdini's it is. Here comes Toe Camel running down the middle.
The flag. So the Toe Camel gets blown to bits.
40 seconds left. It's just too little too late. There's no way this is going to be a pulse out. Unfortunately for the Ironmen.
And I think that's why they're yelling at each other in the pits, because, you know, when people are like, oh, you know, no Fs were given, blah, 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 oh, stress comes from caring. Yeah, of course. Yeah, when you care about things, you get a little heated sometimes. And the Ironmen obviously are emotional and care about their team. They care about the guys around them, and they knew that they had a chance to win this tournament, but they squandered it here by not performing up to their potential. Don't want to take too much away from them. They made it this far, and they might win this point here with 7 seconds left. But Houston Heat just flat out played them, and they earned the right to go into the finals.
It looks like Marcelo Margot tries to square it up. With Thomas Taylor.
Todd, how impressive was Marcelo Margot's performance? He left it all out there. Last guy left alive. He had, let's see how many kills. 11 confirmed kills. That's the most for anybody on either one of these teams. He did everything he possibly could.
Yeah, look at Chad Boucher with 8 kills for Houston Heat. As well, he stepped up. He had a good game, but again, this game was dominated by Chad George.
Well, parental advisory if we could get a little audio in these pits real quick.
Chad George and Ryan Moorhead.
Again, earmuffs.
Sam Monville.
The dejected Los Angeles Ironmen. So yeah, and they were just speechless and taking this loss here in the semifinals. So unfortunately for the Los Angeles Ironmen, they're not going to be moving into the finals. But hey, Houston Heat, they got it together. They came out of the Challengers division and made a gigantic statement to the paintball world that their superstar lineup does work. And they've got, look at Marcelo Margot. Poor Marcelo Margot just couldn't have done any more. So when he goes back and watches the tapes, he'll be a little, you know, all you can ask is for you to give as much as you possibly can, and he did. So, but look at the mustache crew from Houston Heat. I guess the facial hair is working for him.
I guess.
And what an amazing job that Ryan Moorhead has done, coming off a partially torn Achilles tendon. You know, the doctor told him that he had kept playing on it, it would have totally just blown out. So he had to take 2 months off and just started playing before this event. and was one of the best players here by far. And there's the man himself, Moorhead, getting it done over here on Snake side. A little bit more of the Moorhead action and playing through some terrible conditions. I mean, pretty much every second that he is in, he's in that snake, he's literally, elbows and knees deep, face in some smelly mud, crawling through it and still getting it done. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
You in that situation? When it was.
Hey guys, I'm standing here with Chad Boucher of Heat. Congratulations, you guys are advancing to the finals. That was a serious grinder, but you guys did a great job, especially you on the Dorito side. I want to talk to you a little bit about 2-on-1s because we did see quite a few of them during that match. Most of the time you guys had the advantage, but if you don't have the advantage and you're the only guy left on your team and the other team has 2 players, what's the thought process like and what's the strategy to figure out who you attack first?
There's 2 ways you can go about it. Depends how close they get to you. The smart thing for the 2 guys to do is spread the field. And, when you're up on bodies, you don't have to actually go kill the guy or up on time. The clock's your side. But, on that 2-on-1 in that situation with, I believe it was Marcelo and Ryan and Sam, Sam sort of just split the field and then, waited. The clock was on our side. So, we made a mistake there. But a lot of times, when the guy's by himself, he can go bunker one guy and then hope he gets the next guy. So it just depends really what kind of situation, how quick you are on your feet.
We know that you guys practice drills for 2-on-1s and practice getting ready for that to happen here at tournaments. So on the opposite side, when you have the advantage 2-on-1, how do you guys communicate, or do you have a predetermined plan on how to get that win?
I mean, we're at the level where you should know, but some guys do have brain farts. We are paintball players, but at the same time, splitting the field, and just if the clock's on your side, then just use the clock as your advantage. So. That's how I'd say go about it.
All right, well, you are going to be going to the finals against Impact. They have gotten second place at 4 out of 5 events, so they're really hungry for this, as are you, to prove that you are the first place team again. They have been really pushing down the middle of the field a lot, and you guys have been going wide. Do you think that pushing down the middle of the field is going to give them a disadvantage?
I can't really say yes or no to that, just because it just depends what you do off the break. They're a good team all around, and they're playing well together. They're a team that mixes well. They gel well on and off the field. So for them to play up the middle or down the wire, anywhere they got to go, they got enough depth in their roster to do whatever they have to do to win. So we're going to come at them and we're going to see what we can do to win as well.
All right, well, congratulations on that win. Again, it'll be Impact versus Heat in the finals. Chad Boucher will be killing it on the Dorito side, as always. Stay tuned because we have more final games coming at you.
So there was the Champions playoffs. Tampa Bay Damage lost to Edmonton Impact 7-5 in a close one. So Impact moves on to play Houston Heat, who just had an awesome game against the Los Angeles Ironmen. So Houston Heat, and when their awesome lineup finally gotten it together and proven to the world that they are going to be able to play in the finals again. But also coming up next, we have the roster of the next season. Planet Eclipse's look behind the scenes into their factory team, Chicago Aftershock, one of my favorite paintball franchises of all time, has reformed past couple years and slowly bootstrapped their way up to become a team that has the potential to maybe win tournaments in the Champions Division. They did not have a good event here, and they did lose this morning to Upton 187 crew, who preserves their Champions League spot. But Chicago Aftershock, after taking third at the last event, and the new guys that they picked up on that team, Karl Markowski, Chris Sosine, and that young talent that they've been able to really cultivate and doing a good job. So, guys, I'm really excited to watch this to episode 1. I did the voiceover for it. I haven't been able to see it yet, but so let's check it out here. Episode 1 of the roster featuring Chicago Aftershock, brought to you by Planet Eclipse, one of our big supporters here of PBA's efforts. But also, before we get into that, just real quick, so we do have more thunderstorms coming our way, big surprise, and we may have to move the divisional finals to another field and just play the Champs and Challengers finals in order to fit the entire tournament in before the weather hits. We're still, you can see it. We're on the right-hand side of the screen over there. And so we're going to see, there's the storm coming our way. So yeah, you can see just the little edge, complete upper right-hand side. So there's the big storm front coming our way, and it's really thick this time. Last time it looked kind of like the one at the bottom, but this one's really thick. So the show must go on. We have to get all the games in. So we may have to abandon divisional finals. We will keep you guys updated on that. So stay tuned for that. But let's go to the roster, episode 1, featuring Chicago Aftershock, brought to you by Planet Eclipse. Stick around, man. It's going to be awesome.